The Environmental Investigation Agency is really excited about recent updates to Romania's world-leading forest traceability tool called Forest Inspector. This system allows citizens to help combat illegal logging in their country, and we think it could be an example for the rest of the world. Let me show you how it works. So the website is inspectoralpăduri.ro, and that means forest inspector in Romanian. And when you go to the website, you'll see that there's no sign-up form or login process. All of the data is completely transparent to anybody who visits the website. On the left side, there's a number of features, and the first feature says, and please excuse my Romanian pronunciation, Verificare numar mașină, and that means verify license plate number. So if you're in Romania and you see a logging truck driving down the road, you can type in its license plate number down here, and you can choose a date range that you're interested in. I'm just going to choose a random date range here. When you click search, you'll see these red dots appear. And if you zoom in, you can see these red dots in more detail. And each one of these dots represents the loading point for a specific timber transport permit issued by this truck in this date range. And if you click on one of these timber transport permits, it'll give you details about that transport. So in this case, it shows you the permit number, the type of transport, and this is a transport coming from the forest, the date and time, the company involved, and then the species and type of wood. So this is 24.4 cubic meters of beech roundwood. Most importantly, if you do not see a timber transport permit for the day that you saw the truck on the road, that could mean that the transport is illegal and the authorities could be contacted. This feature has been extremely popular in Romania. When the feature was first launched in 2016, over 30,000 users joined in the first 10 days, and over 500,000 trucks were checked in that time period. And it led to a 60% increase in the number of permits being issued because trucks that were previously operating illegally without permits had pressure from all the eyes of the entire country looking at them that they moved into getting legally issued permits. So that's really impressive and really just shows what can happen when the people have the power to protect their own forests. The next feature over here is a new feature as of April 2020, and that says verify APV number. And an APV number is a forest authorization number, and that represents an authorized amount of timber from a specific area in the forest. And if you're in a forest harvesting area in Romania, there should be a sign posted that shows information about that harvesting, and there should be the APV number listed there. So if you have an APV number, you can type it in down here at the bottom. And you can also choose a date range here. I'll just choose another random date range. And when you click search, this will show you all of the timber transport permits for this particular harvest authorization area for that given time period. And if you zoom in, you can see those points in more detail, and you can click on one and you can get the same kind of information from the previous feature. And in this case, you'll see that there's a number of transport permits that are issued from what looks like to be on the road. So that's the kind of thing that people could look into if they were investigating their forest using this new feature. Another new feature is you can search by the permit number, and that's a number that is on the paper documents that trucks carry, so that's also another interesting new feature. The next really powerful feature of Forest Inspector is this button that says Avisa Transport, and that just means transport permits. If you click this, this will show you all of the timber transport permits in the whole country on any given day for a given time period, and you can make that time period extend up to 24 hours. So for example, on March 18th, 2020, there was 13,482 timber transports in the country of Romania. And this goes back all the way back to when the system started, so you can choose any day going back to around late 2014. You can also filter the transports by type. There are 6 different types, and the most important 2 are loc recoltare, which means point of harvest, and deposit, which are wood depots. This feature existed when the system was launched, but they stopped the historical data going back only 3 days, and so just recently did they open it up to be able to see the entire history of transport permits in the country again, which is very impressive. The next feature shows you the locations of all the harvest authorization permits in any given forest district. So if you choose a district, it will show you the locations in green and blue dots, and if you click on one of those, it will show you details about that harvest authorization permit. Unfortunately, this feature hasn't been updated since sometime in 2017, but we're hopeful that that will be updated again in the near future. The next layers have to do with protected areas, and if you click on this first one, this shows you all of the protected areas in the entire country, and that includes national parks, natural parks, and Natura 2000 areas. So if you want to see if there's logging going on inside protected areas, that is a great place to start. And then this feature shows you the strictly protected areas. So these are areas where there can be no logging allowed whatsoever. And so that's a good tool to look for what would be purely illegal logging, because there should be no timber being harvested in these areas. And then the Pinmatra layer is a study of virgin forests in Romania from 2005, and so you can see those areas that were designated as virgin forests during that study. And then this next feature is new. It's a breakdown of how the forests are broken up. So this is a layer of private forests. This is a layer of state-owned forests. And then there are a few more interesting layers that you can overlay with the transport data. And then this last feature, unfortunately, also stopped working sometime in 2017, but this is designed to show near real-time deforestation information using satellite analysis. And so you can see these little shapes here that represent areas where there was deforestation, and if you click on them, it gives you information about whether or not they are inside authorized areas, which is very interesting, and we're hopeful that that feature will come back online very soon. And the rest of the layers just show you base maps like OpenStreetMaps or Google Satellite View. There's also a European Satellite Sentinel View, but that's also not working correctly now, but we're hopeful that that will also be working again soon. So that's Forest Inspector, one of the only functioning systems in the world that allows every citizen to play an active role in checking legality of logging shipments in real time.